All right, let's get to the Saturday slate of college football, starting off with a ranked game at noon between number 21 USC and number 23 Illinois at Illinois, 12 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. These are really two Big Ten teams trying to prove their legitimacies right now. As the first ranked matchup of Week 5, we have 4 ranked matchups in Week 5. We are eating good this Saturday. And two Big Ten teams here that are trying to prove, hey, we are legitimate college football playoff contenders. USC is off to a 4-0 start this year. They've won every game by an average of 32 points, but the Trojans have not played a top 60 team in PFF's power rankings yet. Illinois, meanwhile, is 3-1 on the year and is coming off an embarrassing 63-10 loss to number 19 Indiana. Illinois was number 9 in the AP poll before that game. After that kind of loss, losing by 53 points, they're now number 23. They fell 14 spots in the AP poll in that one. So USC trying to prove, hey, we're a legitimate contender and why we should be ranked in the top 25 right now. Illinois trying to bounce back after a really embarrassing loss on Saturday.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They got to bounce back quick if they want to get back into playoff contention. They got punched in the mouth last week at Indiana, obviously got blown out, but they're playing another really good team this week and a dangerous offense in USC. They need to. That's basically as quick a bounce back from as low a point as you possibly need to have if you're Illinois in this game. And USC, their offense at least is running red hot through the first 4 weeks of the season. That's how they got ranked. So it's going to be a tough task for Illinois to bounce back up off the mat.
So you actually have the Illinois offense that only scored 10 points against Indiana this past week. What should we know about Luke Altmaier and them as they try to bounce back against the Trojans defense?
Look, I know Luke Altmaier is really good at working through it. He did a nice job of it against Duke and even in Illinois' first 3 games of the season. Last week, not so much. Illinois' pass protection is the key to their whole season. It's the key to their team. Against against Indiana and Duke, it has just not been good at all. In those 2 games, a 42.8 pass blocking grade, 40% pressure rate, and that probably could be higher because Altmaier gets rid of the ball quickly. If he held onto the football, I don't know how high that would be. 53% pressure rate against the blitz. 6 sacks allowed in those 2 games. This is just for the last couple of years now. It's been the whole key for Illinois is J.C. Davis and these guys up front. I really should say the interior has been the bigger problem. Josh Kreutz at center, the guards, it's just they need to be able to pass protect. And USC right now is 39th in pass rush grade. D'Anton Lynn sends a decent amount of blitzes and simulated pressures to try to confuse offensive lines. They don't have necessarily, maybe Anthony Lucas is the one standout pass rusher, 77 pass rush grade, 16 pressures so far this year, but it's more of a team effort. It's more about manufacturing the pass rush for USC. So if they can get pressure on Luke Altmaier and he doesn't have all of the answers, against that pressure, and even against Duke, he really didn't. It was just in the times when he was clean, he got it figured out. He got rid of the football quickly. This Illinois pass protection, it has to be better than it's been in the 2 Power 4 games that they've played so far. They got away with it in the Duke game. Altmaier was really good in that game. Hank Beatty was really good in that game at receiver. They get rid of the football quickly, but there's only so much Altmaier can hide for them, right? And at a certain point, you just can't win with pass blocking grades in the low 40s every week. So I'm looking to see if they can pass protect in this game. You've got a different story. They really didn't do it against Duke, and they got away with it. They didn't do it against Indiana last week, and they certainly did not get away with it. They have to pass protect better. It's something we've talked about for a long time, but in big games, they have not been able to do it.
Yeah, I'm really looking at the other side, too, the other passing game. USC has a red-hot passing attack right now against an Illinois pass defense looking to bounce back after getting torched by Fernando Mendoza in Indiana this past weekend. So USC kind of had a down passing game by their standards, kind of an average passing attack last year, which for Lincoln Riley is very rare considering he usually has one of the best passing offenses in college football. They're back to that this year. Right now, they're averaging 0.709 EPA per pass, which is easily the best in the entire FBS. USC is second in the country in yards per pass at 11.6. They're 17th in the country in passing grade at 84.7. They have the best receiving grade in the country right now at 84.5. And they're 10th in pass blocking grade at 82.6. Everything is going right for the USC passing game right now. Illinois' pass defense was performing at an admirable level before this past weekend against Indiana, where Fernando Mendoza picked them apart. The Fighting Illini gave up 0.788 EPA per pass in that 63-10 loss. That's their worst since the 2017 season. 8 years ago was the last time Illinois' pass defense was that bad in a game. In that game, Fernando Mendoza, Mike Shanahan, the offensive coordinator, were really able to find man coverage beaters very, very quickly because Illinois runs man coverage at the third highest rate in college football at 51%, and they blitz at the second highest rate in the Power 4 at almost 58% too. Lincoln Riley would be very smart to employ a similar type of game plan against Illinois that Mike Shanahan and Fernando Mendoza did against them last week with Jaden Mayava in this game too, because Illinois, that man coverage and all the blitzes usually works for them, but when it doesn't work, they don't have a lot of other answers. It's not all of a sudden they go to a zone defense or don't blitz that much. They're going to blitz. They're going to play man coverage. I think USC would be smart to get those man coverage beaters and to get rid of the football quickly.
And a huge problem in this game, it was announced yesterday that Xavier Scott, the slot cornerback, the superstar, the best player in Illinois' defense, he's going to miss most of the rest of the season with a lower leg injury, needs surgery. Mekhi Lemon's the guy to get to work there. I mean, it would have been a primetime matchup. He missed the game against Indiana last week. We saw that went in their secondary. But to be missing Xavier Scott in this game with Mekhi Lemon in the slot, it may be the best receiver in the country so far this year. He's certainly in the argument. That is a serious problem. And I think if Mekhi Lemon has a chance to have a big game, it's going to be a real problem for Illinois. They're going to miss Xavier Scott at the nickel.
Definitely. All right, so in the first of 4 ranked matchups in Week 5, Dalton, who will win between USC and Illinois?
Yeah, that's a big injury, and I just don't love Illinois' pass protection. And coming off of last week's game, I mean, they obviously have to be a whole lot better on both sides of the ball. But I like the momentum that USC's offense has right now with Jaden Mayava running the show, with Jacoby Lane, with Mekhi Lemon, with the run game going well as well. I'm going to take USC 31-24. I think they go on the road. It is still going to be tough. Illinois is going to play better than they did last week, but they need to run the football better. Altmaier's got to be protected back there at a better rate if they're going to win this game, but I'm trusting USC and the explosiveness they have, and I think with Scott out, I think Mekhi Lemon's going to have a big game again.
Yeah, I have USC winning as well, 37-34. I think it will be a bounce back for the Illinois offense in this game, but not enough to take down USC. I think it could be a shootout, and in a shootout, I usually trust Lincoln Riley coached offenses than anything else, so I'm going to go with USC to win this one, 37-34. To answer a question in the chat from Plato. He says Mike Shanahan has no relation to the NFL Shanahans. He does not.
No, he does not.
As good as offensive coaches,
the way he's coaching, he might be a clone, but yeah. he's not. They're not related. No.
Yeah, the way he's coaching though, he is doing a great job there. A lot like Kyle Shanahan does, and a lot like his dad used to do as well.